top haunted places in Melbourne, Australia. So I'm gonna do Melbourne because yeah, because it's Melbourne. And we be here. We be here being haunted and stuff. Ooh.
Melbourne is famous for its culture and history.
Melbourne.
But beneath its streets lie some of the most haunted places in Australia.
Beneath
Tonight,
the street?
We're diving
Beneath the street? How do we get beneath the street? Do we need to like get into the sewers like Ninja Turtle style? I honestly want to know. There are tunnels there would be tunnels underneath Melbourne. Let's go. Who wants to be a subterranean mole person with me? It's like just being creeps just being underground creeps. I'm so into that. I want to do it.
into the top 10 haunted spots in Melbourne that will send chills down your spine. Are you ready to face the ghosts lurking in the shadows?
Maybe. I've just solved all my lupus problems. Maybe if I become a subterranean mole person, I can go out during the day. I don't have to worry about the sun burning me. I can just be a mole person. Just, you know, be in the street, underneath the streets of Melbourne, you know. It'll make it heaps easier for me to travel. I could do that. I'm into that. I need to find a way to get into the sewers.
1. Old Melbourne Gaol. I'll never forget the night I stepped inside the old Melbourne jail.
Oh, he said it right one of the times.
It was past midnight, and the silence was so thick, it felt like the walls were breathing. They say over 130 people were hanged here, including the infamous Ned Kelly. I didn't believe in ghosts, not until that night. As I walked past cell...
I'm sorry, not to get all ghost horny again, but I think Ned Kelly, like flesh and blood Ned Kelly, would have been fine. I'm just saying. I think he would have been, you know, he was a bad boy, but he was also sort of like, you know, Robin Hood bad, you know, he standing up for the common man, fighting authority. I don't know, it's just hot. 10 out of 10 would. Definitely leave the mask on, baby. Let's go.
17. The air turned ice cold. My flashlight flickered, and then I heard it. A whisper. A man's voice, low and guttural, saying, "Get out." I froze. No one else was on the tour. I turned slowly and
Would the armor stay on during sex? I mean, the helmet would definitely stay on. It depends. It depends, you know, it depends what, not to go into too much detail, but it depends, you know, what type of relations you're engaging with. Like, because, you know, sometimes you want to make out, sometimes you don't. It just, you know, it just depends. It just depends what old Ned is into. You know, I'm a giving gal. I like to facilitate what other people want. What can I say? It depends. It depends what he's into.
At the end of the hallway was a shadow, tall, still, watching me. A week later, I found out that cell 17 was where several inmates were kept before execution. Paranormal investigators have recorded EVP, electronic voice phenomena, there, including the same chilling phrase I heard. That wasn't the end of it. When I developed a photo I'd taken in that hall, a pale face appeared in the cell window, one that wasn't there before. I left that night shaken, and I've never gone back. But some say, if you stand quietly in the gallows room, you can still hear the rope creak. 2. Queen Victoria Market. I used to work the night shift at Queen Victoria Market. Most nights were quiet, just the hum of the city fading away. But one evening, as I locked up alone...
I only go to Queen Vic markets these days if, like, I have a friend coming down to stay with me from, like, Sydney or Queensland or something, and, it would be the loudest, most obnoxious sounding sex, just clank, clank, clank. I mean... I don't know, it's the neighbors are just gonna have to cop it, okay, look. They're just gonna have to, they'll just think I'm like cooking, they'll just think I'm like making bread or something. I'll certainly be kneading something, that's for sure, but they'll just have to deal with that. Yeah. Anyway, I only go to Queen Vic markets when I've got like, I'm showing like a friend there, like around Melbourne, because I don't know. There's not like that much touristy stuff to look at in Melbourne. It's like, oh, what did we do? We went to the museum. We went to the market. I'm Def's a cooker. Yes. Yes. That is an astute observation.
I noticed something strange near the meat hall.
Ooh, the meat hall. Damn, that sounds hot too. Who wants to go to the meat hall? Is that where the hot ghosts hang out? The meat hall? Damn. Looking for some ghost meat, if you know what I mean. I'm in the market for some ghost meat.
Still, the kind of silence that presses on your chest. I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, deliberate. But when I turned, no one was there. Just rows of empty stalls. I tried to shake it off until I saw it. A figure, pale, dressed in tattered 1800s clothing, standing near one of the produce tables. I blinked, and she vanished. Gone. Later, I found out the market was built over a massive cemetery. More than 9,000 bodies still lie beneath those stalls. And I'm not
I thought they moved them.
Other workers have heard crying at dawn, and one cleaner quit after seeing a man kneeling by a grave that no longer exists. They say the dead don't like to be forgotten. And under Queen Victoria Market, they're still waiting to be heard. 3. Princess Theatre.
Ooh.
I've always loved the theater. The velvet seats, the golden lights, the echo of applause. But nothing prepared me for what I saw at the Princess Theatre. I was working backstage one night during rehearsals, just me and the sound tech. Suddenly, the main curtain swayed, even though there was no breeze. Then we heard footsteps, slow, steady, crossing the stage. But the stage was empty. I looked up to the balcony, and there he was, a man in full evening dress, just standing there, watching. I thought he was an actor at first, until he floated backwards and disappeared into the wall.
Okay.
I later learned about Frederick Federici, an opera singer who died of a heart attack in 1888, right beneath.
See, I don't want to bang the opera singer because I feel like he would be rich. He would have been rich. He'd be a snob. Like, I feel like Ned Kelly would be dirty. Like, I feel like Ned Kelly would, be a little bit. I don't know. There's just some ghosts that, like, you just know would be a dud root. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Just not into that. Sorry, I don't find you attractive, Federici, ghost man. Just not doing it for me. Just not doing it for me.
The stage. But here's the twist. The cast swore he took his final bow with them that night, moments after he died. Even now, actors say the light boards flicker, props go missing, and cold air lingers on stage right before showtime. Some say it's just the theater playing tricks. But me, I know better. Because I saw him, and he saw me.
What if he pulls off a cool off-road note while climaxing? That's weird, man. That's weird. I don't know. I think I would feel uncomfortable. Wait, am I climaxing too? That depends. Because if I am, I wouldn't notice, to be honest. I wouldn't notice. But yeah, if it's just him. See, he sounds like a selfish lover as well. He sounds like a selfish lover. I think he would definitely need to take the finding the clitoris class. I think Ned Kelly would care about my pleasure, you know what I mean? I don't know, I just get that vibe from him.
4. Hotel Windsor. I stayed one night at the Hotel Windsor. Just one. It was meant to be a weekend getaway, a bit of old world luxury. But by midnight, I was praying for morning. I was in room 310. Around 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of soft knocking.
Ooh.
3 times, slow and deliberate. I opened the door. No one. The hallway was empty, dead silent. I tried to sleep, but the knocking came again. This time, from inside the room, from the wardrobe. Heart pounding, I forced it open. Nothing. But the mirror next to it had fogged over,
Ooh,
as
kinky.
if someone had breathed on it. And written in the condensation was a single word: stay. The next morning, I asked the front desk about the room. The clerk looked pale. "We don't usually rent that one out," she whispered. "It belonged to a guest who never checked out. She died in her sleep, alone." People say the third floor is the most active. Staff report voices in empty hallways, and some guests have checked out early, refusing to stay another night. I did the same. Whatever's haunting that room, it doesn't want to be alone.
Well, we finally have a horny ghost girl. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That will probably be me when I die. That will probably be me when I die. Just like, oh, you look okay. You look kind of hot. What are you up to? Why don't you stay? Why don't you stay, mate? Why don't you live in this room forever? Because I'm a pervy ghost girl. Hello, Yarib. How are you? Yeah, I don't know.
5. Pentridge Prison. I went to Pentridge Prison for a ghost tour, just for fun. You know, old cells, creepy stories, maybe a cheap thrill.
Ooh.
But what happened in
Ooh, people are going to the graveyard for cheap thrills, hey? All right, I'm in. Let's go. This sounds like my type of place.
Division wasn't part of the script. As we walked through the execution wing, I lagged behind the group. Something about the walls felt alive, like they were watching. Suddenly, I felt a sharp cold rush down my back, and the smell, metal and rot, like blood and rust. Then I heard it. Chains, dragging across the floor behind me. I turned. Nothing. But when I looked down, a single wet footprint appeared on the stone floor. Bare, human, fresh. Our guide told us later that this was where Ronald Ryan, the last man hanged in Australia, spent his final hours. His ghost is said...
It's a shopping center and luxury apartments now. Oh, is this the one that's kind of in sort of Coburg or like that area, like on Sydney Road where you like turn off to go? Yeah. I know. Oh, I know where this is. I thought it looked heaps familiar, but I couldn't. Yeah, I remember driving past that a while ago and it said like Medina on it and it looked like they turned it into apartments. Imagine living there. Fuck that. I wouldn't live there. I mean, it's really pretty, but fuck that. Fuck that. It's expensive. Yeah, expensive to live with like freaking demon ghosts running around. And look, if I'm gonna pay that much money for somewhere, I want like a hot ghost. I only want hot ghosts, okay?
To linger, angry, unsettled. And he's not the only one. CCTV footage from this wing has caught doors slamming, lights flickering, and even voices shouting when no one's inside. One guard quit after being locked in a cell that hadn't had a key in decades. I left that night changed. Some say it's just the power of suggestion, but I know what I heard, and I'll never forget that footprint, slowly drying in the cold. 6. Melbourne General Cemetery. I never believed...
Are you gonna buy a flat? You should buy a flat there, Delta. You can get like hot goth girls to like come back to your place by telling them all the spoopy stuff that goes on around there. You can be like, yeah, you can have them. You can have them flooding in. It'll be good. You're not rich, yeah. That's the hard part about life. I am not rich either, unfortunately. It sucks, but whatever.
In ghosts. Cemeteries felt peaceful to me, quiet, respectful. But Melbourne General Cemetery, that place felt wrong the moment I stepped in. It was just after dusk. I was visiting a friend's grave near the far eastern wall. As I stood there, I heard soft weeping, a woman's voice, faint but constant. I looked around. No one. Just
I'm really resisting the urge to do the Sydney Sweeney bit again, but I'm not going to. I've used it too many times. I need a new joke.
rows of crumbling tombstones and a thick, creeping fog. Then I saw her, a woman in black, standing completely still by an old grave, veil covering her face. I blinked.
She's wearing black.
She was gone.
That's hotter. Black is the best color.
Later, I looked up the name on the grave. Eliza Donathorne.
Ooh.
A woman said to have died of grief after being left at the altar. Locals claim her spirit wanders the cemetery, still waiting for her fiancé to return. Others have seen lights flicker in the darkness, or heard footsteps that circle them, but never show a source. And some visitors say their phones refuse to work near her tombstone. I left in a hurry, heart pounding. But just before the gates, I heard it again. A single sob, right behind me. I didn't look back. I couldn't. 7. Williamstown. Time Ball Tower. I thought the Williamstown Time Ball Tower was just a relic.
Yeah, I drive past this all the time. I drive past here all the time. I always drive around here at night. Like I drive along like the seafront, and I drive like to Altona usually. I just like looking at water. I always see people fishing here. I wanna have a crack. I don't have any fishing stuff in Melbourne, but I always see people fishing, nighttime fishing around this area. So I wanna give it a go. I wanna see what I can get. Can you see a ghost wearing black at night? I mean, I wear black at night. People seem to see me all right. A lot of perverted men seem to see me all right. So I think you'd be able to.
Went there on a foggy evening, hoping to take some atmospheric photos. What I got instead was a story I've never told anyone until now. As I climbed the stairs inside the tower, I felt an odd pressure in my ears, like the air had changed. And then, I heard it. A loud bang from below, followed by the sound of heavy boots stomping up the stairs towards me. I froze.
Oh wait, can you go inside of this? I've always just driven past it. What the heck? New mission unlocked. Nah, if it's haunted, I'm not gonna go in there, but I do drive past this all the time. And there's this weird like Titanic restaurant. It's like shaped like a boat that's just like up from this. It's crazy. What the fuck is that building? Let's have a look. Actually, I want to show you this just because it's pretty nuts. Titanic restaurant, Williamstown. Is it a restaurant? I don't know what it is. Just very weird. Shush, please. Can you guys see this? How nuts is this? It's like a restaurant like shaped like a ship. They've got like the little, I don't know, chimneys or whatever. And then, yeah, it's absolutely nuts, guys. It's absolutely nuts. I've always drive past it, but that's just right near, that's just maybe like about 100 meters from the tower that the dude's talking about. That's like more interesting to me. That's bizarre. Oh, it's a theater restaurant. Yeah, like the smokestacks. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. Oh, it looks pretty cool inside, actually. It looks pretty cool inside. Maybe I should go there, but I feel like it's going to be like some musical theater bullshit. I don't know. That type of stuff makes me feel very uncomfortable. But it does look cool. Like they have put a lot of effort into it. Anyway, that's right near here, the Titanic restaurant.
The footsteps stopped just behind me, but when I turned, there was no one there. I made it to the top and took a single photo. Later, when
By the way, this is where I saw the penguin. You know when I told the story that I was in the car with my friends and I saw a penguin and I just yelled penguin at the top of my lungs because it was a freaking penguin just chilling on a rock. This was where that was, just here, like off the shore. There was like a rock and there was a penguin there. And I was like, penguin! And they were like, yeah. And I was like, but it's a penguin. And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not from Melbourne, okay? I'm not just used to seeing a freaking penguin just freaking chilling on a rock, okay? It was really cute and I got excited and it made me accidentally yell, okay?
Zoomed in, I noticed something in the reflection of the glass. The face of a man, gaunt, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a scream. Locals say the tower is haunted by the spirit of a drowned sailor, a signalman who jumped to his death after failing to warn a ship that crashed. Sometimes, they say, you can still hear the ship's bell ringing, even though the harbor's been silent for years. I've never gone back, because I'm sure something followed me down that night, and I still hear boots behind me when it's quiet. Eight, Yonge and Jackson Hotel. It was meant to be just a drink, a quick stop at the famous Yonge and Jackson Hotel before catching the last tram home. But what I saw inside still haunts me. I was sitting near the staircase, admiring the painting of Chloe, the nude portrait that's been there since the 1900s.
Ooh, kinky. Kinky Chloe, they call her.
Alive. like she was watching me. I brushed it off as imagination until the lights flickered. That's when I saw her. A woman in a flowing white dress, standing at the top of the stairs, not moving, not...
Your mom is obsessed with this place? Really? Do you have any goss? Do you have any goss about it? It looks so familiar, but I'm just trying to place it in my head. Like, I've definitely seen this place, like, probably hundreds of times. Because it looks so familiar, but I just can't place it in my brain. It's across the road from Flinders Street. Oh, that's why I've seen it so many times. Every time I get off at Flinders, I see it. There we go. That's why.
Blinking. I thought it was a staff member, until she turned and walked through the wall. I asked the bartender if anyone else had seen her. He gave me a look.
Ooh, Chloe's got a bit of a Brazilian wax going on back in the day. That's pretty impressive. When did they start doing Brazilians? I wanna know. I would have assumed that she would have a full bush, right? Oh well.
And simply said, "That's Chloe. Happens more than you think." Some say Chloe took her own life after a broken love affair. Her spirit is said to appear to lonely patrons, especially those sitting alone. People report sudden drops in temperature, whispers in the empty hallways, and even their drinks moving across the table by themselves. That night, I finished my glass and left fast. But as I passed the painting one last time, "I swear to you," she winked.
You think they used tweezers? Oh, that sounds awful. Thank God for laser. Oh my God, no, nope. That sounds like some type of medieval torture. Plucking out your individual pubic hairs. Holy shit.
9. Altona Homestead. I joined a historical tour at Altona Homestead one rainy evening. The kind where the clouds sit low and the world feels a little off. The homestead looked charming from the outside, but once I stepped in, the warmth vanished. As the guide spoke, I wandered into one of the back rooms. That's when I heard children giggling, soft and playful, echoing through the empty hallway. But there were no kids on the tour, just adults, all accounted for. I turned to leave, and the door slammed shut behind me. I yanked at it, heart racing, locked. Then I heard footsteps, running in circles around the room, but no one was there. The air smelled like old dust and lavender. When they finally got the door open, I was pale, shaking. The guide asked, "Was it the children?" I nodded slowly. "They love that room," he said.
That's not scary though. They're just children playing. I don't think that's scary. I don't think that is scary. I like kids. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having some ghost kids around. I don't know. Sounds kind of cute.
Almost casually. "We think they belong to the original settlers. They died of illness.
Oh, poor babies.
Visitors report rocking chairs moving on their own. Shadow figures darting past doorways.
Yeah, they don't sound like they're bad. They're probably just, they're kids. They're confused. They don't understand what's going on. Like, why are these people always staring at this glowing thing in their pocket? Why are they don't understand what a smartphone is, They've got questions. They've got questions about these strange people.
And icy cold hands brushing against their arms. One paranormal group even recorded a child's voice whispering, "Play with me." I didn't answer. I just walked straight out, and I haven't gone back since. Some games, you don't want to start. 10. RMIT, Building. 20. I was a student at RMIT when I first heard the rumors that Building 20 was once part of the old Melbourne lunatic asylum. I didn't believe it. Not really. Until I had to stay late one night. The hallways were empty.
I did date a crazy guy that went to RMIT, so perhaps accurate. Perhaps accurate.
Echoes of my own footsteps bounced off the old stone walls. I was heading to the print room when the lights above me began to flicker. Not all of them, just the ones above me. Like something was following. Then came the laughter. Childlike, high-pitched, but twisted, not playful. I turned the corner and saw a door creak open by itself. Inside was a pitch-black room I'd never noticed before. And in that darkness, Eyes. Two small, white, glowing eyes staring back at me. I ran. Later, I found out that part of the original asylum still lies beneath the building. Underground tunnels, padded cells, sealed off, but not forgotten. Staff and students have reported cold spots, whispers, and shadow figures that appear just past midnight. Some say the spirits trapped down there were never meant to be released. That Building 20 breathes with them. And if you listen closely, it breathes back. So,
I always thought that was a church or something. I always thought that was a church. It has like such churchy vibes. Anyway, poo-poo sticks.
which of these haunted places would you dare to visit after dark? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more spine.
I would definitely go into the pub with the ghost lady that for some inexplicable reason has a Brazilian. I'd definitely go to that pub if I needed a wee. Like, you know how sometimes I was just going to random pubs and like just to wee. Just to wee. That's the only reason why we'll go in there. There's a nice hot point joint next to Building 20. Oh, is that Panda Hot Pot? The one that's got like the massive dragon hanging off the ceiling? Do I believe in mythical creatures like the vampire? I mean, I am Slavic, so I grew up with like a lot of like legends of like the people in my family definitely believe, like the ones that still live in Moravia and the ones that like still live in those areas definitely do believe in that type of stuff. Bro, dying with your legs unshaved would suck because then you'd be stuck with unshaved legs forever. Yeah, 100%. That's why I have laser. That's why I had laser hair removal, so I'm not a hairy-legged ghost because I don't want that. I'm not a vampire. Stop telling people I'm not a vampire. I'm just very pale and can't go out in the sun and need a lot of iron. But that's all because of lupus, okay? I'm not a vampire. Stop spreading the rumor. I am not a vampire. Stop it. Stop it. And I don't age, but that's, you know, that's just luck. That's just good genetics, okay?
Tingling stories from the darkest corners of Australia.
Yeah, I definitely, there does seem to be, you know, stuff in like Eastern Europe. There does seem to be, yeah, like the legends are probably from somewhere. Vampire or werewolf. I'm definitely not a werewolf. Although lupus is supposed to like come from the word wolf. It's supposed to, I don't know. But I feel like lupus matches up more with vampirism than it does with like, yeah. Then werewolf stuff. I don't know. I don't have any issues with silver or anything like that. And I definitely don't like transport. Ooh.
Adelaide may look peaceful, but beneath its charm lies a chilling truth.
Oh, by the way, we're watching a video about Adelaide now. I just realized sometimes I don't even say what I'm doing. I just do it because, I don't know, ADHD. Have I ever played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? No, I have not. I must say I have not. I used to like find, you know, vampires hot. Like, I used to be very into that. Not like Twilight, but like more like Anne Rice, Queen of the Damned, like Vampire Lestat kind of. Ooh, I used to like that. I don't know. I don't know. I probably really need to get laid because I seem to be like getting turned on by a lot of a lot of weird things.
From haunted prisons to cursed hotels, these are the top 10 most terrifying places in Adelaide where the dead still whisper, watch, and walk among us. 1. Old Adelaide Gale.
Not the Adelaide
They say the
Gale.
walls of Old Adelaide Gale don't just echo with history, they scream with it. Hidden
Ooh.
behind thick stone walls.
That's hot. That's hot. If a wall can make you scream, that's pretty hot.
In the heart of Adelaide, this prison once housed South Australia's most dangerous criminals. Over 45 souls were executed here, some by hanging, their final breath
Do I prefer vampires with more humanoid or with more monster features like bat wings? Definitely the humanoid, because otherwise it feels like you're getting into like furry territory. Feels like I'm getting into like bestiality territory. More just like a hot goth looking dude, you know, that's like likes to nibble on your neck. That's kind of hot. Because that's just hot anyway, even if they're not a vampire. Like, I have a very like long neck, so that's nice. I do like that. I think that's why it's hot.
Stolen in the cold silence of the gallows. But death was never the end. Guards still whisper about cell 18, where lights flicker violently and the air drops to ice in seconds. Tourists report hearing heavy boots pacing, yet no one is there. One woman swears she saw a man in an old prison uniform standing just inches from her, face pale, eyes hollow, before he vanished into thin air. And then there's the hanged man, said to roam the corridors at night, his rope burn still visible on his neck. People feel watched, followed, even touched. This isn't just an old building. It's a prison trapped in time, where the dead refuse to leave. Do you believe it's just a story, or are you brave enough to find out yourself?
No, I think I'll give it a miss, thank you. I think I will give it a miss.
Zoo Ward, Glenside. Once sealed.
How did you get Zoo Ward from Z Ward? Get help, mate. Get help. I don't know where any of these places are. Don't think I'm ever going to have a reason to go to South Australia, gotta say, but...
Tight behind iron gates and sandstone walls, Z Ward in Glenside was never meant for the public. It was built to contain the criminally insane, the most disturbed, violent minds in South Australia's history. And now, it contains something else. Visitors say the air inside feels wrong, heavy, like it's pressing against your chest. In room 7, a former inmate who took his own life is said to whisper your name if you stay too long. Paranormal teams have captured unexplained growls, footsteps in empty halls, and even photos of faces in the window.
It's probably a possum. It's probably a possum that got in and he's just walking around growling because that's what possums like to do. And yeah, that's what they like. That's what they're into.
When no one else was inside. One guard once heard his keys jingle from his belt, only to look down and find them floating midair. And every night, as the sun sets, shadows stretch unnaturally down the hallways. Some swear they've seen a tall, dark figure staring from the end of the corridor, unmoving, until it disappears when you blink. Z Ward was shut down decades ago.
Z Ward, for the love of God.
They may still be waiting.
Sort out your life.
3. Adelaide Arcade. By day, the Adelaide Arcade glows with charm, a vintage shopping haven built in 1885.
Ooh.
But when the last shop closes and the lights go out, something far older wakes up beneath the marble floors. They say it's Francis Clooney, the arcade's caretaker, who died in a horrific accident, electrocuted deep in the basement.
Oh.
Ever since, strange things have happened.
That looks exactly like Royal Arcade in Melbourne. It looks exactly like Royal Arcade in Melbourne. It just has a different sign on it. Suspicious. Very suspicious.
Lights flicker violently. Footsteps echo when no one's around. And shopkeepers arrive to find displays mysteriously rearranged overnight. One security guard quit after hearing someone calling his name from behind a locked shop front.
I want Hake's Chucky.
When he checked the footage, the camera showed no one. Just the lights dimming, one by one. In the mirror-lined hallway near the old stairwell, people report glimpses of a man in an old-fashioned coat, staring, expressionless, before vanishing like smoke. This isn't just a shopping arcade. It's a place where the past walks beside you, silently, unseen, until it wants to be noticed. 4. The Barton Theatre. Behind the velvet curtains and faded glamour of the Barton Theatre lies a darkness the audience never sees. Built in the 1920s.
Maybe this ghost could be friends with the Federici ghost or whatever his name is, old mate at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne. They could be pen pals, they could write each other ghost letters, they could send ghost nudes to each other. I don't know how they would facilitate that. You know, they could visit each other at their various theatres. I feel like they could have a nice time together.
1920s, this grand old venue has hosted legends, but some say not all the performers ever left. Stagehands whisper of hearing applause in an empty hall. Singers warming up alone have heard someone humming with them, matching every note from the shadows. One actress fled mid-rehearsal after seeing a woman in white gliding across the balcony, only to vanish when she screamed. The old dressing rooms, ice cold, mirrors fog up, even on warm days, and sometimes they show faces that aren't yours.
Don't you think that the theater ghosts would make a cute couple? I think they would make a really cute couple. How do we facilitate this? Is there like a getting like in the after, like an afterlife, like dating agency, like realm I could get into? Because I feel like I would be good at that. I feel like I could like be the Tinder of the spiritual realm, you know?
In the backstage corridor, a man's laughter echoes at odd hours, low, mocking, and chilling. No one has ever found its source. The Barton Theater is more than a stage. It's a haunted memory, trapped in endless encore. And if you listen closely, the spirits might still be performing tonight.
Ooh.
5. North Kapunda Hotel. Kapunda. Just an hour north.
Pseudomastics doesn't like MILFs confirmed. Ghost Hinge would suck because everyone would be old. I thought guys were like into like the MILF cougar thing. Or is that just on certain websites that they're into that? I don't know.
North of Adelaide, in the old mining town of Kapunda, stands the North Kapunda Hotel, a place so haunted, it's been called Australia's most terrifying pub. This isn't a ghost story whispered in corners. It's a warning etched in history. Murder, illness, and violence once filled these halls. And the dead, they never checked out. Guests.
It's just the majority of people who die are in their 80s. Yeah, that's a good point. But it wasn't back in the day. That wasn't the case back in the day, especially in colonial Australia. Would have died pretty young. No sanitation. Especially if you were a convict, you would have been just worked to death, because what was the point of keeping you alive?
Report being shoved by invisible hands. Doors slam on their own.
Do I think ghosts get scared when they see other ghosts? That's a really good question. That is a really good question. I mean, would they just look like... Because they would be on the same plane of existence, right? Maybe it's just... I mean, we get scared when people sneak up on us, right? Like, I'm a very jumpy person. I scream if, like, another human being is just all of a sudden in my peripheral. I'll be Sydney Sweeney and I'll shit my pants. Like, it will be... Yeah, I'll scream.
One woman fainted after feeling someone breathing down her neck, but she was alone in her room. Down in the cellar, once used as a makeshift morgue, investigators captured EVP recordings of screams. One even caught a child's voice crying, "Help me," though no children were on the property. But the most feared spirit is a man in a black coat and wide-brimmed hat. He appears at the end of the hallway, tall, still.
The black coat and wide-brimmed hat, I don't know. That sounds like a hot ghost to me. That sounds like a sexy ghost. I don't know why. I don't know. It just feels very masculine. You feel like a lot of ghosts would have diarrhea since dysentery was a big problem. They would though. They would. Like cholera, dysentery, like they would. They would. A lot of them would have died shitting their pants, 100%.
Watching, and then he's gone. At the North Kapunda Hotel, history doesn't sleep. It waits. 6. Carrick Hill, Springfield. Carrick Hill looks like a fairy tale estate. Grand gardens, stone walls, and English charm. But behind its beauty lies a silence too deep, and shadows that move when no one's near. Built in the 1930s, it was once the lavish home of Sir Edward and Lady Ursula Hayward.
Ooh,
Now,
Ursula Hayward.
Caretakers and guests speak of strange happenings. Footsteps on empty staircases, the scent of old perfume in rooms locked for years, and soft piano music drifting from the drawing room, even though the piano hasn't worked in decades. One staff member claims she heard a woman weeping in the nursery, yet found it completely empty. Another saw a pale figure standing at an upstairs window.
Wait, there are hobbits? there are hobbits there? There are hobbit ghosts? Why is there a hobbit hole? I have questions. I need answers. I must know. I wouldn't bang a hobbit. That would be weird. I would not bang a hobbit. No. Just be weird.
The house was closed. And then there's the library, where books fall from shelves without reason. And some say they felt a cold hand brush against theirs while reading. Carrick Hill is a house frozen in time. And perhaps, not everyone inside is gone. 7. Glen Osmond. Mines. Glen Osmond. Beneath the peaceful Adelaide foothills lie the forgotten tunnels of the Glen Osmond mines, once rich with silver and lead, now rich with fear. In the 1800s, these mines were alive with pickaxes and shouts, but they were also plagued by cave-ins and gas leaks. Many miners were buried alive in total darkness, their bodies never recovered. Locals say their spirits still wander below. Even today, strange noises echo from the sealed shafts, metal clanging.
He said shaft.
But no one's there. Some hikers near the entrance report the ground shaking slightly beneath them, as if something moves deep underground.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of tunnels under there. It's probably unstable. I would say the earth would be moving a lot. What the heck?
One paranormal team entered an abandoned shaft.
Also, a lot of ghosts from the 1800s would be racist as. Yeah, they definitely would. They definitely would be racist and sexist. They definitely would. But I'm very, 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 very pale. So they would be down with me. But probably. I don't know, actually. They might not, because probably the wrong kind of white. Like, yeah, if they came from Europe, they would definitely like not like Slavic people, probably, because yeah, there's a lot of xenophobia towards Slavic people. Yeah, maybe they wouldn't even bang me. Am I gonna get rejected by ghosts? This is the most depressing revelation ever.
Only to hear breathing behind them. When they turned, there was no one. Just the stale, cold air and a whisper. Don't go further. The mines are off limits now, but some say if you stand nearby at night, you can still hear the trapped souls digging, desperate to be found.
Ooh, number 8.
Stirling Hotel. Stirling. Nestled in the misty Adelaide Hills, the Stirling Hotel welcomes
Not
guests
the misty
with warmth and
hills.
charm. But some say not all its guests are living. This
Ooh.
elegant old building has seen over a century of laughter, loss, and lingering spirits. Staff have reported wine glasses shattering on untouched tables, lights switching on in locked rooms, and footsteps echoing through empty hallways late into the night. But it's the woman in Victorian black that chills even the bravest. She's often spotted near the grand staircase, motionless, hands clasped, eyes hollow. One guest tried to speak to her, thinking she was part of a themed event, but the woman simply vanished before their eyes. In the upstairs rooms, guests wake to the feeling of being watched. Some swear they've heard soft humming in the darkness, like a lullaby from another time.
Ooh.
At the Stirling Hotel, the line between the past and present is paper thin.
Does anyone in chat play any musical instruments or anything? Anything exciting? I'll have to stick to some Valetian vampires. Yeah, but they might be like my ancestors. I mean, not because I'm a vampire, because I have... It's a whole thing. Anyway, some of my ancestors migrated from Wallachia to the Czech Republic. They're called Moravian Vlach. It's not because I'm a vampire. Stop. I'm just adding to the rumor, but it's actually historical fact. Okay.
Yes.
Look, I will even show you. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Okay. I didn't accidentally just give away my. See, it's a real thing. Moravian Wallachia is a mountainous ethno-region located in the easternmost part of Moravia in the Czech Republic near the Slovak border. And yes, we did come from Transylvania, but look, we're not vampires, okay? But this is where my big fat Czech grandpa came from. Okay, but I'm not a vampire, so just that wasn't a slip of the tongue, that was a real thing, but look, it's It's a real thing, okay? So I don't want to hear it. You must bounce on it crazy style. Yes, I have. I am. I have seen it. You must bounce on it crazy style. I have seen it. That's the kind of stuff you think vampires would unironically get up to? Yeah. They'd all be freaks? 100%.
Sometimes it breathes right beside you. 9. National Railway Museum, Port Adelaide. By day, the National Railway Museum is a nostalgic wonderland of steel and steam. But when the crowds go home and the lights dim, the silence is broken by something unnatural. This site holds more than just history. It holds residual energy from decades of death, disaster, and despair. Old prison transport cars once carried the condemned, and visitors say they can still feel the fear trapped in the wood and metal.
Ooh.
Night staff have heard footsteps echo across the metal platforms, followed by the sharp slam of a carriage door, even when no one's inside.
Actually, I'll tell you I just remembered another story because of this. So when I was a teenager, my family lived in the Blue Mountains. So therefore, I lived in the Blue Mountains because I was a kid. Don't know why I said that. Anyway, and also basically, like, it's the main freight line, right, for freight to move by train across the country. It goes from like Sydney to like Western Australia, right? So you would always see freight trains, and I swear, me and my friend Stacy, we still talk about this sometimes. Actually, we were on the train station. So obviously these freight trains are going like as fast as possible past the stations, right? Because they're basically, driving like across the entire continent. They're basically going across the continent, so like they don't stop anywhere. And we swear to God that we saw like a dead guy driving the train, like a guy that was like, his head was hanging there. I mean, he could have been asleep, I guess. He could have, now that I think about it, he could have been asleep, and it looked like his head was sort of hanging, and he looked like pale and stuff. Anyway, we were also drunk. We were also like 14 and drunk, so I don't know. Anyway, do with that what you will, I guess. Oh, you play woodwinds. Can you play the flute? I like the flute. The flute is cool. Joey Nitro is in the building. What's up? Long time no see.
Some swear they've seen a figure in uniform step onto a train, then vanish between the carriages. In the exhibit hall, motion sensors are triggered by nothing. Voices are recorded whispering names, and cold gusts move through sealed compartments like something unseen is brushing past. The National Railway Museum is more than a tribute to travel. It's a station between two worlds.
Ooh, nicely done.
Ten. Holdfast Hotel, Glenelg. Just a stone's throw from the beach, the Holdfast Hotel in Glenelg hides a tragic tale behind its historic facade, a tale that refuses to stay buried. Locals whisper of the Lady in White, a sorrowful spirit believed to be a young mother who lost her child in the 80s.
Joey has been busy working. How about us? What have we been up to? We've been well, not we, me mostly. I've been I've been developing a weird kink with an attraction to ghosts. I've been like thinking about, oh, what if these ghosts are hot? And then thinking about it. But then Chad's been like, no, they would have bad teeth and they would be racist and they would be this. And I'm like, look, stop ruining it, okay? We all have to get our jollies somehow. And I have problems. What can I say?
1800s. She's been seen drifting through hallways, her long dress trailing behind her, her face pale with endless grief. Guests often wake in the middle of the night to hear soft crying outside their doors. But when they open them, the corridor is empty. One couple reported their bathroom tap turning on by itself, moments after a sudden cold gust swept through their room. Staff have spotted lights flickering violently in rooms with no power issues. Others refuse to go into the basement alone, not after hearing someone whisper, "Where is he?" from the dark. At the Holdfast Hotel, time stands still for a grieving soul. And if you listen closely, you might hear her searching still. So, would you dare visit any of these haunted places alone? Or have you already walked through one? without
Unless I need to wee. I'll only go into a haunted pub if like, I don't want to get a UTI, and if there's like nowhere to take a cheeky bush wee, I will definitely. What video are we watching? We're watching 10 haunted places in Adelaide that locals fear to enter. You remember drinking on those couches with the boys? Oh, have you been there? What's it like? Was it scary? Were there any hot people alive or dead in the building? We have to know. I'm trying to open a block of chocolate and I'm having a lot of trouble. Please, Kit Kat, I need you in my mouth. There we go. I did it. Because I want to be able to reseal it. So sorry if you hear like nom nom noises. I have Kit Kat gooey caramel. Delicious. I'm gonna just have a little bit of a Kit Kat finger in my mouth. I'd rather have a ghost finger in my mouth, but you know, we take what we can get. We take what we can get. Sorry, that probably sounds really gross. I'll mute it. Hang on. Sorry, I really wanted a piece of chocolate, so I'm... What kind of chocolate is it? It's a Kit Kat gooey caramel, like the block. It's always on special. It's always on special, but I actually like it, so... It's usually like... It's supposed to be like $7 full price, but you can usually get it for like $3.50. Not Hyperbovian, Ricochet. Guys, sorry, I was thinking about chocolate. I got confused. I actually was having a deep in thought about chocolate. I also have, what do I have here? I have Orokibi Farms strawberry protein drink. Has anyone here tried the protein drinks from Orokibi? They're really good. They have a strawberry one now. It's really good. You are fine. You're traveling by train. You're going from east to south in Germany. Ooh, that sounds fun. You're a brown cow. That's where Chocky comes from. That is where chocolate milk comes from. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently a lot of Americans thought that chocolate milk came from brown cows. I don't know how accurate that is, but I have heard that.